Hello everyone, you're here with H, and today the H stands for
Help me! Help me!
because I feel like death. Alright, at the time of recording this, Mother Nature or whoever is in charge of giving me bugs or something has absolutely pounded me, and not in a fun way. It's not Friday night, so this should be interesting if I can get through this, both mentally and physically. So let's just dive right in, huh? The Ponly pans are out. Crack the egg in that pan. Shut up, that wasn't funny.
This man fell in love with an OnlyFans model.
I requested a girlfriend experience with an OnlyFans girl named Allison Gregg.
Okay, so unfortunately, we could actually end this video here. Unfortunate to some, fortunate for some maybe. They don't want to hear me ramble too much, but the rambling is what we shall do. You've paid for the girlfriend experience, even if this is a scammer, because it is, because this is the show we're watching. You got the girlfriend experience. Someone buttering you up, you pay money for it, you're not gonna get anything sexual out of it. So, should I end this?
So let's get an OnlyFans account.
Whoa!
After sending
Let me tell you something, right? Someone explained to me, this smile is too happy for someone who's just creating an OnlyFans account for the sake of the video. You know, Big D is delving into that account after filming. You know it. Dodgers. You ain't dodging this one.
After sending $70,000 for a girlfriend experience, Tom felt Allison was someone he could start a future with.
I'm not paying for you to be a girlfriend. I'm paying for you to be my future wife.
You need immediate help from that sentence alone, because you've paid for the girlfriend experience. You haven't paid for her to be your future wife. That's concerning, because it sounds like you want to try and buy her.
Hold on to your butts.
If anyone has had the misfortune of ever watching that episode where the guy quite literally explicitly said he's trying to buy the woman, I'll put it up there. I've done a commentary. It's very old, so no one question the sheer lack of quality on it. It's not got much better, I tell you that much, as time gone on. But you should be questioning this man's intentions right off the bat. And I hope the team does as well. And not just, haha, look, you know, he loves an OnlyFans girl, despite the fact he's doing up girlfriend experience, but thinks it's real. It's funny. No, it's concerning.
But things went completely south when Allison never delivered on her promises.
I authorized her using this thing called Tap and Up,
Sorry,
which
what?
allows you to tap your phone and charge things to it.
2 phones, 2 microwaves, car repairs.
Sorry. I don't know why this is so funny, but this might be a pair of headphones from the year I was born. Like, fair enough, I'm not expecting you to go out and do up sponsorship for, like, who's a good one? Bose or something? But, like, surely you'd sound better without them on. And who in the hell asks someone for microwaves? You know, the scammers got their priorities straight here, at least, huh? Instead of gift cards. Gift cards? If anyone wants to do up gift cards to me, I'm ready. I like myself some minis. Skirt, skirt. The scammers asking for microwaves, you know, I can't even blame them, right? Cost of living crisis. You want to eat some food, you get someone to buy you a microwave. I commend it, actually.
Car repairs, refrigerator. Can't even think of how many gifts there were.
On this episode of
Fair
Scamfish,
enough.
sponsored by socialcatfish.com, Tom has reached out to our team to verify Allison's identity and to figure out if she truly loved him the way he loved her.
Ish.
Opening up my OnlyFans messages. Drew, she messaged me.
No, that's fake.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your engagement with our videos help us
There's no
reach
need
new
for
audiences
to gate
and
a
can
mouth open
potentially
like that.
stop other people from being scammed.
But you already are.
So, guys, we have a new case. The man by the
Sorry, Sheridan's got rid of facial hair, or has he always had no facial hair and he's grown some right now? Whatever the case may be, let's just address the potential elephant in the room if you're wondering and you haven't seen the recent Reddit roast me video. Yes, I've just got a mustache at the moment. It's Movember, so I'll use this opportunity right now to tell all the guys that are watching this, not just in November, throughout the year, check yourselves. If there's ever a time to get your testicles, getting a grip of them in not a fun way, or turn it fun if you want, I don't know. Do it. Check yourselves. Get your prostate exams if need be. And regarding mental health, don't feel like you're weak or less of a man for speaking up. There's strength in vulnerability. So now that that's been said, back to my mental health and deteriorating it further.
The man by the name of Tom reached out to us and he wants to verify who he's talking to online.
Okay.
And so I'm just going to read his email.
Where is Brutus?
On November 1st, 2022, I began a girlfriend experience relationship with an OnlyFans model named Allison Gray. It cost about $170 a week to have her be my pretend girlfriend. She supposedly lives in South Africa. So of course we never met and never video chatted. I started paying her rent and bills every month for the last year. I had a stroke back in May and I've been on medical leave since. I'm not getting paid currently and I've run huge debts for her.
We're going to stop right there. I've had enough. How about that? I was already going to say, in such a crisis that the world is in, how you spunking 170 a week for someone to give you what I'm presuming is only nice sounding messages. Literally, there's AI for that, but that's a whole nother story, and concerns of if AI is too realistic, etc., etc. But where are you getting the money for this? Because I understand beforehand, before your stroke, you was probably working, but surely 170 a week for someone to be your pretend girlfriend is just too much. I've never delved too deep. I say that as if I've ever delved, so that's poor choice of words. I've never delved.
Really?
I may or may not have just exposed myself, but believe me, I've never delved into this. But I've never delved into this world, so I can't understand, or I don't know if that's an expensive price or not. So anyone who is willing to, essentially open up your life in the comments, let me know. Let everyone know. Is this expensive? I'm telling you now, I think it's expensive. I mean, if anyone wants to pay me $170 a week, I'll send you nice messages, bro. Genuinely. We'll spice it up if need be. Sprinkle a little bit of cayenne on there. Anyway, after that, when you have a stroke, like, I assume you're American because it's dollars. So, great. You can tell I'm absolutely in the shitter right now, bro. So I apologize for seeming more flustered than usual. But when you're in such a position, why are you still doing this? How have you let yourself get in 75 grand's worth of debt, bro? I can't understand it. I'm truly sorry. I understand being lonely, but I say this in a video coming soon. Where are we drawing the line? Do you know what I mean? How to the people who use loneliness, etc., as an excuse and don't like people to be essentially harsh on these victims? Where are we drawing the line? How much further are we going to allow these people to destroy themselves before putting a stop to it, right? you're doing more harm to them than the people who are harsh in your eyes. So, I don't understand it. But there you go.
Realistically spent about $75,000 in the last 2 years on her. I'm having a hard time dealing with this. I suspect she's a catfish, but I don't know.
Hi, I'm Tom Forrest. I'm 61 years old. I live in Pullman, Washington. I live on the Palouse, which is beautiful. It's a very unique area.
It is nice.
So I love it here.
Okay.
Love the natural beauty. I love being outdoors. Like to hike. I don't walk as much a day because I've had 2 strokes in the last 2 years. Now I have to have a cane to walk around, which accounts for why my speech is kind of funny. I'm an admin assistant at the local university. I love working with students. It's a very dynamic environment. I've been married twice, 2 divorces. My first marriage was 21 years old, just out of college. We had 2 children, but we divorced a long time ago, over, 20 years ago. I remarried, moved to Washington, and we had another daughter. But my last marriage ended in 2011. So I've been single for a long time, almost 14 years now. So I've dated some since then, on and off, nothing very serious. So after my first stroke 2 years ago, I was very lonely, and so I went to OnlyFans looking for companionship because I knew the holidays were coming up. So I knew I would be alone for the holidays. So I started looking for someone to spend time with, to not avoid being lonely. I knew the OnlyFans offered this thing called a girlfriend experience.
I'm going to stop you there, right? And just before anyone cries in the comments that I'm being harsh on someone who's had a stroke, my uncle has had a stroke. And so you can't say I'm, essentially being rude to him, or I know, I don't know, people call me all sorts of isms and ists, so I'm clarifying that, I guess. Anyway, I don't understand what he thought would happen, to be honest, because him using I was alone for the holidays, what do you think's gonna happen, my man? Even if you buy this girlfriend experience online, the person's not going to come to you for the holidays. Some stranger rocking up to your house for Christmas in what I presume you think she's going to appear in some sexy Mrs. Claus lingerie. I don't even know. That's just not going to happen, man. You ain't going to get your stocking filled here. It's full of coal and debt. That's what it's full of. What is this? Tier 1, good night and good morning text. 1 hour sexting, I'm assuming, with 1 exclusive photo, 10-minute phone call, all day safe for work text. Well, at least you're getting safe for work texts, isn't it? That's great. And then obviously it goes up as it goes on. Fair play. And just before anyone also says I have something against OnlyFans creators, the hell I do not, all right? They are obviously taking advantage of a market that is there. If the market didn't exist, probably OnlyFans doesn't exist. So if the market is there, they're going to take advantage of it to, to the demographic that oh so hates OnlyFans girls, etc., etc. If you're so concerned that they're making so much money, I'm just saying, maybe pull out your toes, big man, and make some money yourself. But anyway.
Where basically she would be your virtual girlfriend for a price.
An online girlfriend experience is a service that involves more personal interaction. This would require the paid girlfriend to send more text messages and phone calls to the client, making them feel like this person, is their girlfriend.
5 days after I got out of hospital, I requested a girlfriend experience with an OnlyFans girl named Allison Gray. She was 5'3", reddish hair, had freckles. She had brown eyes. She had a very athletic body. She worked out at the gym every day. She had a very girl next door look to her.
What does that
mean? She had no tattoos and no piercings, which is also very attractive to me.
Okay, so on her nose, right there, what is that? Is that a mole? Because I have a mole. I don't think that's a mole. because it's quite protruding out, and dare I say, quite silverish. If you have a silver mole, let me know in the comments. You might be a medical marvel. I will say, stop getting these people to go so in-depth about these lovers, please. It's really cringe, all right? And it actually pisses me off. It doesn't make them seem in a good light. Most of the time, they don't do that themselves anyway, but it doesn't help their case. Another thing that I just wanted to touch on really quickly, he's obviously vulnerable, right? He's obviously in a vulnerable position, and he's been fleeced by scammers, so he's on a list of some kind already. Let me know in the comments, right? I don't know how to feel about the fact that we've just put him on blast in terms of personal information, like where he works, you know, his medical history, etc., his name, blah, blah, blah. So let me know in the comments. I feel like that's quite bad. That's quite counterproductive. Counterproductive for trying to help him recover from a scam, because you've just given more information to the scammers, potentially, who probably watch these videos. I'm just saying. So let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on that?
I like girls that are fresh looking.
Okay, and I'm going to stop you right there. I almost threw up before you even said that. So I don't know if my body has some kind of spidey sense for hunting out creeps. I don't like it, all right? I've remixed the Monta Hunt. You know when the jokes, I stumble over them and they're just not funny anymore? I was going to say I've remixed the Monster Hunter series. I'm now the Creep Hunter. Not Chris Hansen. I will say, don't ever in your life say I like girls that are fresh looking ever again. Because for God's sake, I don't know what that means. I assume you're going to now say, because you mentioned piercings, despite the picture having a piercing, you mean you don't like girls who don't have tattoos, etc., etc. All power to you. You can like whoever you like within damn reason. Don't be a criminal creep. And if you don't like someone who has tattoos, that's your preference. But there's no need to say that they're fresh looking if they don't have tattoos, because now you're calling me fresh looking if that's the notion we're going for. And I very much tell you, I am far from fresh looking. I'm a lemon left out, moldy AF now. Scratch that, a potato, because it'll probably be worse. I'm a potato on a hot summer's day, on the counter, in a hot country, no less. That's what I am. So shut up with your fresh looking. Don't piss me off.
Not every girl on OnlyFans does the girlfriend experience, but she does, and she agreed to do it. She charged $170.
Yeah, chill out. The one that Catfish showed before, they were doing up like $30 a week. You just got fleeced anyway, even if it was a real girlfriend experience. Can someone explain, when you look at this profile, yeah? Again, I've never looked into OnlyFans. I've never read a profile, but this just seems fake to me. Like, I'm 5'4", slender redhead with, you know, big assets, we'll say, I guess. You know, and I actually love porn. That's just such a, I don't know if that's like a realistic thing someone who is OnlyFans doing would say. I actually love porn. I don't know, man. Let me know in the comments. This just seems weird to me.
But she does, and she agreed to do it. She charged $170 a week. I agreed to that immediately.
Goodness gracious
after I contacted her on her website, she immediately said, switch to Telegram, and so we switched to Telegram.
Oh, there's your problem.
We had a lot in common, like
Did you?
same values, same music. We liked a lot of the same things. Favorite foods, colors.
Nice, man.
We talk so much, like twice a day, every day.
Crazy. You know, you're saying we talk so much, but you're paying to talk that much. So it's not exactly a good thing is it? Like, if I go to Subway and say, can I have a 12-inch, please? And they give me the 12-inch.
You naughty, naughty. You teasing me, you naughty, naughty.
I go home and show my mom and say, look, mom, got a foot-long sub. Can you believe it? Yes, because you bought it, H. And my mum's not calling me H, but if she randomly did, I don't know what's going on there. But you are paying for something and getting it, so why are you now describing it as such a great thing? You know, he reminds me of back in school. Very, very weird, right? There were people, guys, who paid the conventionally good-looking girls, right? You know, the popular girls, pay them £2 for a hug, yeah? And then they are talking about the hug for weeks to come and saying, oh, look, guys, she hugged me last week. Do you remember? Yeah, we talk now. Shut up. What the hell was going on back then? My Lord. Let me know in the comments if that's ever occurred in your school, because that might be just a one-time thing back in my school. Holy shit, by the way. That's brought back some bad memories. So, stop talking about it as if it's such a good thing. You're paying for it.
I would talk early in the morning and late in the evening. Part of the girlfriend experience was there would be phone calls once a week, just phone, not video. And her voice, she had an English accent. It sounded very, very much like a South African accent.
Sorry. In God's name, what have you just said here? Honestly, get this man off the show, right? I feel like I'm like intruding or something watching this man, because I feel like he's just too vulnerable to be on this show. She sounds like she has an English accent and then South African accent.
I told her I was in love with her accent. The bond really began to grow between us. But I began to really, really fall in love with her because she was so nice and so sweet. We knew each other so well. We started off with,
no, you don't.
I love you. Very soon, very like a day or two within.
You paid for that?
We started talking about love and affection.
You paid for that?
3 weeks into it, we had an argument where she seemed like she didn't know who I was. Like I could tell something had changed about her.
Let's be honest. If this was, and it's not even if actually, because scammers are the same vein. Scammers are probably talking to so many people, just as OnlyFans creators are probably talking to so many people. So I'm gonna believe that regardless scammer or not, you would be forgotten about. Certain details would be forgotten about because just how it is, right? So please, Tom, shall I wave the red flag? I mean, everything about this right now is a red flag because you switched platforms. You might as well have actually just used an AI, bro. It would have been for free, potentially. Maybe you pay like a subscription or something, but at least you would have saved $170 a week.
Talked to her and found out her sister was using her account, helping her run the business. It was their sister I was talking to, not her. That was the confusion we had.
Oh, happens.
So we had kind of a big argument about that.
I don't know why you would argue about that, to be honest, because to my knowledge, a lot of creators who do offer services like this, the one that comes to mind is Ruby Rose. If anyone knows Ruby Rose, she has a similar service. You message her, etc. But she has people that reply to the messages for her. Like they are genuine employees whose job it is to do that. I'm not sure if smaller creators have that, but yeah, the bigger ones do. So
she had several accounts in Telegram, and so.
But we're on Telegram.
So the first
actually
money came up as around Christmas time, so I wanted to buy her a gift for Christmas. So I bought her a new Samsung phone for Christmas. It took a lot of my financial resources, but I got her the phone she wanted.
Do you know what's concerning to me? Is the fact that you're paying $170 a week, yeah? I'm pretty sure by the end of the month, you could get a phone. Like, if anything, you could even go get a refurbished iPhone or something. I can't do the maths right now. Apologies. What is that, 640? I think? Maybe? So, why? That's, great words, but you've expected it from me because I'm dying in this chair.
I'm dying.
It was $1,500, the latest model Samsung. And she showed me the phone
I don't think so.
when it came in.
More expensive than
I
an
felt
iPhone.
very good buying it for it. And it kind of made my Christmas, making her happy. But then shortly thereafter, I went to Beanley. She asked for a new laptop
Crazy.
and some other things for our room and other things she wanted to help.
This ain't even
So I
a
helped
girlfriend
out with that as
experience
well.
anymore.
Well, at first, I was very sexual because of the girlfriend experience. Part of the deal that she had, her package was twice a week you're allowed to do. She would do girlfriend experience with other guys as well.
Yes.
Like
job.
people would request certain things, she would do videos for them. At
So
first, I
job.
didn't have a problem with that. I was taking her as a partner, just a business partner.
What the hell are you
But
talking about?
yeah, eventually it would become an issue.
Shut your stupid mouth right now. You have a problem with her doing this when you're the one paying for the same thing anyway. And I've mentioned this before as well. In particular to the guys, but it extends to anyone. If you don't like a certain thing about someone, don't start the relationship with them and then down the line want them to change because you want them now to change. You knew who they were beforehand. If you didn't like it, you can simply not start the relationship because I don't know what you're gaining from this. Are you gaining, do you feel, power by changing this person? I always use the example of guys who don't like the way a girl dresses. For example, you get in a relationship with that girl, down the line, you don't like the way she dresses anymore. Now you're saying, no, you need to change, etc., etc. But you knew how she dressed beforehand. So what's wrong with you? So you're doing the same thing, Tom. It's screaming to me a slight hatred of women and wanting to control her. But let me know your thoughts.
I would think the things she did was immoral.
Oh,
But
now
eventually
is it?
came out that she said that she wasn't doing those things anymore. She was retired, she said, and she said her sister was in the business, not her. She got all this content stored up.
Oh my,
She
that's
stopped
recording.
actively participating, which is what I wanted to hear.
Shut up.
She never explicitly said she quit for me. She just quit because she was tired of doing it. She wanted to do something else. And since that time, she had supposedly rediscovered her Christianity. And in fact, she said we'd have no sex before marriage.
Well, you haven't
And she
even
said,
met, so you're
I'll
not
come
having
to
sex anyway.
America and we'll move in together and marry me. Last year,
How the hell have we
I
come to that
began
already?
to offer to pay her
Why would you do that?
rent every month, her bills, at least $2,000 a month.
Gee, oh my Lord, have mercy. Can I get me a Tom in my life or something? Jeez, man. I will say, the fact that you're offering to pay for all this, yeah, you can't pull the wool over my eyes. You're not doing this from the kindness of your heart. You're doing this to hopefully control her and have that over her. Let's be honest. You were paying for her phone or whatever the hell, and then you decided, hey, enough is enough. You're my girlfriend. Stop doing all of whatever you were doing. Control. It's all about control for these people. Sad. Get him off my screen, please. Thank you.
Through PayPal. Plus, on top of that, things that she needed or wanted or whatever, like periods where her car broke down,
Yeah,
her
we get it.
refrigerator broke down,
Yeah, you're paying everything.
all sorts of things.
Is your,
everything
is your
you think of.
refrigerator running?
You name it. At first, I sent them to her PayPal. Then she said she had trouble with her PayPal. She wasn't able to use the PayPal account anymore. The only thing that worked was
Why?
through the name of another person. I've used
Did
that
you ask
account
why?
to send the money to
Or-
her. Every credit card receipt I have is located out of South Africa. I authorized her using this thing called Tap and Go, which allows you to tap your phone, charge things to it, and so my bank called me, had me authorize a transaction, which was the South African store.
Hello everyone, Editing H here. Now I know banks can't stop you from saying yes or saying no, because at the end of the day, if you really want something, I guess they can't do anything about that. But let me know in the comments when the bank are asking him to confirm transactions, can't they tell that it's happening in South Africa? Surely they can, and surely alarm bells are going off like this guy is being scammed. But again, as I said, maybe they can't actually intervene. Let me know in the comments your thoughts.
My last paycheck was early September. I gave her my last paycheck, so she knew the money was going to be running out. I was told by HR I couldn't go back to work till November 1st. So at least it would be 2 months. I was making no money at all.
Allison was also asking for more money than she had originally promoted on her OnlyFans. Tom opened up his credit cards so that Allison could freely shop for whatever she needed online.
I'm pretty much tapped out, ruined my credit basically because of her. She apologized for this recently. She said that I didn't want you to go into debt. That's why I offered to work. In the last year or so,
I didn't want you to go into debt, but I'm tapping the phone and paying for everything I want to. Nice. Actions speak louder than words, everyone. Don't let someone gaslight you. Don't let someone essentially manipulate you. Thanks.
I paid at least $25,000 on credit card payments for
Also,
buying
you
things for
didn't
her.
stop as well, by
I
the way.
figure
So, like,
$75,000 at least have been spent on her.
After a few months of sending money to Allison to continue the girlfriend experience, Tom was happy with the messages and photos he would receive. But Allison claimed she wanted to take things to the next level. She started opening up to Tom more and more about her personal life.
She planned to move here last year. But then
what,
her
someone,
mom
yeah.
had to go in the
Yeah.
hospital. Her mom had surgery on her foot. I forget what it was, but it didn't heal properly.
Okay.
And while she was in the hospital, she got very sick.
Okay, shush. So the sister, who's running the OnlyFans business now, probably raking in shitloads of money, she's not gonna help the mum. You, the guy in debt, has to help the mum he's never met because reasons.
Infection, it wouldn't go away, and the infection eventually killed her.
Rest in
She
peace.
said, "My mom just died. I can't move."
Completely
Obviously, there's
understandable.
a big age difference, and we had no problem with that.
Okay, actually, I've just remembered this. How old is this guy again? And how old is, the scammer supposedly being? My opinion, that was the first red flag anyway. Girlfriend experience is one thing, the age difference, because, well, I find that creepy in itself. Surely there is a creator of similar age to you, and you can do up girlfriend experience with that person. So, that's actually the first red flag. And then the second red flag is that you want a genuine relationship. You want to marry. Sorry, is there fireworks going on right now at 10 a.m. in the morning? Because that doesn't make sense to me. But it makes sense as a metaphor, because obviously there's fireworks going on in this guy's aubergine, and that's the only thing he's thinking of.
This is great banter.
But the second red flag would be that you want a relationship with someone who, I'm going to assume is like in their 20s. Creep.
You are creepy as shit.
She told her dad, supposedly, he apparently had real shock about that.
Yeah,
Was
probably.
very
Oh,
upset. I was basically
he's my
basically
age,
his
daughter.
He disapproves completely.
Why would you do
And
that?
there's no way she'd ever move here without his approval, his blessing. We had an argument one day where a lot of pressure about our dad.
Who's
She
our dad?
threw a big deal, didn't want to talk to
Sorry?
me for like a day. It's never going to work out. My dad is never going to approve us, so I can't
is-
go against my family.
What do you, why? I'm sorry. Am I like going crazy in this chair, like sweating my ass off, right? I'm delirious or something, I don't know. Why has he now claimed her dad? Why is it my dad now? You've made it weirder. Now we got some incest shit going on. What the flip, bro? Editing Age here. Just realized that that was an editing mistake. And I assume, at least hopefully as well, that they've just put his picture there when that text message, my dad, blah, 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 was actually from Allison. So carry on as you do. You've made him look even more creepy than he needs to be.
I can't go against my family.
This ain't good for
I
me
can't
right
offer
now.
him anything else than that. That was the end of it. The whole last 2 years of my life have been wasted on her.
Where's
If
his
you
kids,
could
bro?
talk to her and reveal that she's real and that she's coming, I'd love for her to come here.
Shush, you're
That
a
would
creep
change my
either
life.
way then. Do you know what I mean?
All right, Seekers, the research
Either
team
way.
had some work to do. It was time to sit down and come up with a
Where the
game
hell
plan.
is Brutus, bro?
We have to look into the profiles first and make sure that she's.
Are you? Someone let me know honestly where he is, because sorry, he's not on vacation. He's been gone for like more than a month now, I think. Are we cutting back costs and we fired him? Like we only need one research specialist. Is that the case? Brutus, if you ever see this man, hit me up in my emails, bro. Yeah, let's rebrand or something. Let's make our own show or something.
That it was really Allison Gray.
So he did share the fact that they had been talking on Telegram, and he usually calls her on Mondays, hears her voice.
Only on Mondays.
Only on Mondays.
Okay.
So I think we're gonna try to give her a call on Monday.
Only Mondays. If ever OnlyFans want to repackage themselves.
See if she answers.
Her phone numbers are from South Africa. The 27.
He did give me several phone numbers. And even the other phone number he gave me is also South Africa, Johannesburg. He ended up mentioning that he did give her access to his credit card, so she had to
Don't
tap and
ever
go.
say that again.
So she's running amok in so it's somebody in South that's blowing through his money left and right. Look at this. $254,
Woolworths?
$1,651, $150,
Sorry, but first of all, property. My lord, you are quite literally paying for the scammer's house. That's great. But Woolworths, I didn't know that was still around. In the UK, it used to be like proper big. You know, if anyone remembers going in there and, you know, digging your hands in the pick and mix. I didn't do that. I didn't incriminate myself. Stop it. But I didn't know it was still a thing. What the hell are you buying in Woolworths for $150, bro? Because back in the day, you could buy the whole store for like £10. So I don't know what you've done there.
$192, $194. This is just one screenshot, and it's.
Don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't send people on Telegram money. If you're gonna send someone money and you're gonna pay for OnlyFans experiences, that's you. But if they tell you to go to another platform, get a grip of yourself. How about get a grip of yourself in the first place, if you know what I mean? Relieve yourself, and probably you won't make such stupid decisions.
It looks to be all in South Africa.
And they're
We need to
big-
figure out where
big orders, fam.
all this stuff's going.
The only confusing part is
tonight.
even if we do end up sending the IP tracker, we confirm that this person's in South Africa, the real Allie Gray on her OnlyFans account does state that she's from South Africa. So this is gonna be a little complicated.
And then PayPal, he was sending money to different people on PayPal with different names.
Yeah, so he was sending money through
So he's a
PayPal
money
to
mule.
two different people.
He's a creepy
A
money
person
mule.
by the name of Dirk and a person
Why?
by the name of Johanna. So we're gonna see if we can reach out to them through PayPal and see if we can warn them.
Hey, she said Johanna, but you know, shout out Johanna in the comments.
Or if they can contact us.
You'll send like $5 to each of these people on PayPal, see if we can get a response out of them. We'll research
Also,
the images,
you are
IP
giving
tracker.
money to
You're going
the-
to see if you can get them on the phone. And I think we at least have a decent game plan going into it.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
All right.
I don't know how you feel, but I'm super confused about this case. Hasn't been able to provide us with anything. He says that every time they're talking in Telegram, she completely deletes the chats. So every time she sends him something, everything gets erased. You want to look at some of the chats?
I took over Tom's Telegram to start chatting with Lizzie to see what I can find and hopefully tee her up for an IP tracker. And what I noticed was her conversations with him, she doesn't have any grammatical errors, no misspelling. I mean, she speaks English very well.
I mean, you could normally tell when it's a person out of Nigeria, and this is obviously not. Did you try reaching out to her?
I've tried reaching out to her every way that I could, and she has not responded to me. So I found her Linktree, and here are all her social media profiles. She has 2 OnlyFans accounts linked to this.
Which is so weird.
I know. I've never seen that before.
Is it possible that he's talking to the real Allison at this point?
That's why I'm so confused.
Spending money in
It's
Woolworths.
a girlfriend experience.
Right,
Yeah.
and he wants
actually true, to be
this
fair.
person to be his girlfriend. She's asking him for various things.
What about her Instagram?
It's not available.
See, this is the thing that makes me feel like this could be real. This whole thing is real because what I know of OnlyFans, and I don't know a lot, Brienne, but one thing that I
Hey, you know what? Fair enough. Drew's made a similar boo-boo as me earlier in trying to make it seem like I don't know a lot, but kind of doing it in a way where people are going to believe that I'm bloody like the OnlyFans connoisseur or something. Me and Drew are like this. It's not a gang sign, by the way. Chill out. But just to reiterate, I don't know anything, okay?
know is that they do not have an algorithm. To promote your OnlyFans, you would post more frequent on like Twitter and Instagram. But in this case, she's not posting on anything. So how do you even get people to go and buy your OnlyFans?
Yeah.
So here's like, I think it could be two
who she
things.
is, I guess.
And you let me know. This is my opinion.
Okay.
This could be either be someone whose accounts got hacked and then they've been used and then also used to scam people out of money, or this is like the real deal. This is really her, and she's been getting this guy to just pay her money for.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you think maybe her account got hacked?
I thought that too. And it's funny you say that because I found this post and it is on July of 2023. And basically she says, sorry for being away so long. I'll be around more this week. My mom sadly passed on and I've been having extreme difficulty with grief and it's just an absolute nightmare for me and my family. Thank you to everyone. 2 months later, she adds another post. So maybe it got hacked between this time?
So we have nothing at this point. We don't know what to do next.
I mean, we've always been able to find answers in other cases, so I was always able to avoid it.
Yeah.
But in this case, I think I need to sign up for an OnlyFans account and subscribe to her to see what I can find.
Is that a verified
Plus,
mark? I
Tom
think it is.
mentions that he hears her voice once a week. They get on these phone calls. In order for us to confirm who he's talking to, we need to see one of these videos, we need to hear her voice, and we need to compare it to who he's talking to.
That's
Maybe in the back of that van, there's Tom's brain. Who knows? I'm going to cut here because my laptop is running out of charge, so I need to plug it in. So, you know, I'll be back.
A few moments later.
perfect. So let's get an OnlyFans account.
Taking one for the team.
Okay.
It's not that
Willing to go the extra mile to get the job done,
Ah,
Brienne signed up for an OnlyFans and purchased a subscription to Allison Gray's account. She was looking for the inconsistencies between the different Allison profiles.
Opening up my OnlyFans messages. Drew, she messaged me. Hey Brian, how are you? What sort of custom you like?
Now that we were getting familiar with the types of services offered on OnlyFans, we had some follow-up questions for Tom about the Allison profile.
Sorry, what do you mean now that we were getting used to the type of what did you think was gonna happen on there? What did you think people were offering, bro? Come on.
Hey guys.
Hey, Tom.
Hey Tom, how's it going?
Good.
So you found yourself in this relationship with Allison.
Not
Yes.
a relationship.
You went into
That's disgraceful language, actually. I can't believe, because I feel like it's been a while since we've used such language. Now, I know some people will say, you know, he's saying relationship in regards to, you know, so that Tom understands and we're on the similar wavelength. But I feel like saying that, it adds to the delusion. But again, that might just be me. So let me know in the comments.
this whole situation paying for the girlfriend experience.
Yes. But it morphed into something greater, I thought.
What exactly is the girlfriend experience?
You have a virtual girlfriend. She
Well,
acts like your
there you go.
girlfriend, says nice things, treats you nice, but she's also a OnlyFans
So he
model.
knows.
So they're occasionally once or twice a day, maybe video, and there's also twice a week. It depends. Each girl is different. Because of her life circumstances,
What?
we got closer and it became a real relationship, or so I thought. She said
Yeah.
it was really going to move
So
here,
you thought.
and she really wanted to marry me.
Why?
I know you have questions.
Well, I didn't know about the thing, but that's part of what you were paying for?
Not only are you delusional for genuinely believing that this person wants to be in a relationship with you, but you've taken it further to actually believe that she wants to marry you. Now, so I'm going to get flamed potentially in the comments. I'm dying right now. So, to be honest, can it get worse? I don't know. But, you know, I forgot how old this guy is, right? But whatever the hell
I am having a very bad day.
whatever the hell age he is, let's do research, actually. I shall Google Allison Gray is her name. Go on the private, you know, incognito, because, gosh, I don't want the... Okay, I don't really care if the internet people see what I do, but Allison Gray. An artist has popped up. It definitely is not her. So, Allison Gray. Oh, do I have to just write porn star, bro? No, Allison Gray OnlyFans. Redhead freckled booty with a booty. Beauty with a booty is what I meant to say. Anywhere I can see like how old she is. I don't know, man. Anyway, can't find out how old she is, but regardless, why would you think she wants to marry you? Now, with all due respect, you're in debt, and I'm not sure you can provide much other than money, but now that you're in debt, you know, what else can you provide? Sorry to be so harsh, but if more people on this show took a good, long, hard look at themselves in the mirror and what they bring to the table, you probably wouldn't be in such a mess, would you, financially? So, where are his children, by the way? I feel like that's also an important factor to note here. Where are his children? He doesn't seem to talk much about them. I mean, not even to his lover. I don't think he's mentioned them. So, are they not a fan of him? Because then you also have to factor in why. Anyway.
Yes.
Yes, what?
as part of the weekly contract.
Oh,
Now, Tom, this is the first time you've ever done anything like this in regard to the girlfriend experience.
I'm reluctant to believe that.
Multiple times. I probably 4th or 5th time.
Thank you.
But it's the only time that really had turned into a real relationship, or so I thought.
If anyone, you can't even comment anymore that I don't know what I'm talking about. Look, he's quite literally answered me and backed me up. Cheers, Tom.
But let's say she's real. She really is Allison. In her mind, she's already thought, all right, this guy is basically a walking dollar sign.
My housemate at that time said, if it's real, you found a unicorn.
Does it sit better with you knowing that your money went to, you know, some pretty girl's vacation to go hang out with her friends in the summertime?
Does, man.
No, I want to find out why she did it. It's been an emotional toll
Why
for me.
she did that, huh?
For two years, I invested everything into her, everything.
Who asked you
And,
to do that, though?
I love her
Other than you.
so much.
I mean, realistically, if she was real, what did she do wrong in your eyes?
The money, a weekly amount of money to provide certain things, but never to have fake feelings, which she did.
What?
And not to lie to me.
You've lost all the sauce, all right? You're in the pot of sauce. You're drowning in it. You're lost in the sauce, mate. Honestly, fake feelings. The whole girlfriend experience is fake feelings, bro. You've done it enough times to know that.
Ooh, you're hard showing off.
We discussed it many times.
This ain't loneliness.
Where it was like, I'm not paying for you to be a girlfriend. I'm paying for you to be my future wife.
Has she? Hold on a second, Bree. I can't reiterate just how much I believe that sentence there is you trying to buy her. If I'm standing alone on that notion, I'm standing alone. I'm like Jon Snow in the Battle of the Bastards, me just pulling out the sword, everyone charging towards me. But at least at least you ain't charging Woolworths $150, you know, that much. Piss off.
Ever told you she does not have these feelings for you and that you're just paying her?
No.
What's the closure?
To find out she had no intention of ever doing it, ever meeting me, ever coming here to marry me.
You know this.
Ideally, to find out someone else was responsible for this, but if it's her, I guess I'll have to deal with that.
Brienne and the team will look into things and then we'll come back with the results.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, thank you, Tom.
All right, Tom.
Bye.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing. And once you've done that, give this video a like too.
Do that to this
It was
video as
time
well,
to sit
please.
down with Tom to go over what
I'm
the
begging.
research team was able to find out. What do you think we found?
I never had any reason to doubt her. I know that she was in South Africa.
Bro, you can't tell me that the audio quality in the call before this one, it didn't sound better. It sounded better. Why has he put these headphones on, bro?
And I saw the gifts she received.
Sounds like I'm in a helicopter right now.
I don't really doubt it.
What are some other items that you've bought her that she's took a picture of it and sent it back to you and you can verify that she got the present?
2 phones, 2 microwaves, refrigerator, a headboard for a bed, a phone for her dad.
What?
Medicine.
The dad don't like you, bro. Medicine? How are you sending medicine to her? Or I guess you sent the money, but anyway, why are you buying a phone for a dad who doesn't like you? That's not gonna help win you over.
Why would anybody need 2 microwaves?
The first one broke. She had to get a second one. Oh, and television, 2 televisions too.
of everything,
I never
bro.
saw a picture of her with the item, just the item itself, like the boxes. The boxes the gifts came in. So it seemed legit.
Did she ever buy you any presents?
Oh, no, never.
So we looked at the 3 phone numbers that you sent over to us from Telegram. And what we found was that 2 of the numbers are VoIP phone numbers. One of the phone numbers is a wireless phone number located in South Africa.
Not surprising.
We then looked into the email address that you shared with us. From that email, we were able to find a Telegram account that you shared with us. It had that email, it had a phone number on it. It also had an address.
Hold on a second here. 1998. So she's like, what? 26? 27, 26? And once again, I don't know your exact age, but you genuinely think a mid-20s person is going to want to marry you?
Phone number on it. It also had an address.
Yes.
It's very unique because the address is a legitimate address. And so what we were also able to find is that there was a company listed attached to that address, a company under the name Constant Power. That company is no longer in business, but it was back in 2014. Did she ever talk about a business being run out of that address?
No, she just moved there 2 years ago.
Oh,
I was in a relationship with her when she moved there. She moved there 2 years ago.
You wasn't ever.
So this wasn't even coming from the profile that we had confirmed was attached to the South Africa phone number. So this could be anybody. So when we looked at the email, there were no associated social media accounts attached. And I find that very strange because when I researched Allison Gray, she has a Linktree, she has 2 OnlyFans accounts, she has a Fansly account. She has an Instagram account attached to her Linktree, however, it's no longer up. This was her legitimate email. Wouldn't there be any social media accounts attached to it?
Thought it was very unusual that a 26-year-old female, she has no social media at all. Nothing, no Instagram, no Facebook, no anything.
If you guys have watched me for any length of time, I hate the word female. You could easily just say woman. Don't know why you've said female, but that's just a personal gripe of mine. Whatever. Why is that such a shocking thing, to be honest? Because if I didn't have this YouTube, right, I barely post on Instagram anyway. I only have Twitter to look at wrestling and football news. So if I didn't have YouTube and TikTok, which I create content on, I wouldn't actually, exist, right? I'd have a profile, but you wouldn't know it's me. I'm just there to look at news and shit. So why is that such a thing? Why is that such a shocking thing? Like, women can not have social media. Very backwards thinking of you, Mr. I love them fresh. Yeah? And I made a Subway joke earlier, so subconsciously, fresh was on my mind. You're disgusting. You're not fresh.
You got VoIP numbers involved. Also, the email is not attached to anything. It's basically a fresh new email that was created to only talk to you. This is probably not a person that you want to communicate with because they don't want you to know anything about them.
I never saw pictures of her family. She talks about her family all the time. Never saw pictures of her family. Never.
Sorry, but if I'm talking to you for the first time, online, let's in a real scenario, and we're talking about family, for example, I'm not showing you pictures of my family for no reason, right? Like, even if I mention, for example, my brother, I'm not going to randomly send you a picture of my brother. What's wrong with this guy? You very backwards way of thinking about relationships.
So before we hopped on this call right now, we went into Brienne's new OnlyFans account, and we were chatting with her. She replied back and she said, what kind of custom video do you want me to make? Did she ever send you a custom video?
The whole time we were together, she never did one for me.
There's a difference in the Allison Gray I'm talking to and the Allison Gray that you're talking to. The one I'm talking to is willing to send me videos and is asking me to upgrade and chatting with me, not asking me to get off of OnlyFans and chat with me on Telegram.
Oh my, get off? Bree, chill out. Can we go backwards for a second here? Did this Allison Gray account said, hey people? Come on, backwards please, go. Happy Monday, people. Hope you all have an amazing week ahead. Don't forget. Oh, okay. I guess that's like an automated message. I don't know.
Me, not asking me to get off of OnlyFans and chat with me on Telegram. I did, however, find a third profile on OnlyFans claiming to be Allison Gray, and adding the girlfriend experience. It was the only one that I found that stated girlfriend experience. And then I also found an Instagram account that claimed to be Allison Gray, but when I clicked on it, it directs you directly to a Telegram.
Interesting.
The most confusing part of Tom's case was the fact that he couldn't remember what profile led him to communicating with this Allison profile on Telegram. We are confident that this was the profile that started it all, but it was fake. The link promoted in the Instagram page takes you straight to a Telegram, and we had even more to reveal. The rest of the information came straight from Allison's official OnlyFans account.
The Allison Gray account I'm talking to has not mentioned Telegram whatsoever.
Interesting.
Great
Except I
spelling of shit there,
contacted her originally through her OnlyFans page, through messaging on OnlyFans. Someone would have had access to her OnlyFans account.
What are you on about?
But what if the OnlyFans account that you were chatting with was the fake one?
You're right. I don't know, but it could be.
A few days before this interview, Brianne had logged into Tom's Telegram to correspond directly with this profile. She sent this person a link to PayPal. What they didn't know is once they clicked this link, we were able to grab an IP address of whoever was behind the other screen. And when we checked the results, we were extremely surprised.
When we sent out the IP tracker, we have a click from Pretoria, South Africa.
Which is what I expected to be.
One of the things that you came to us for was to figure out where exactly your money was going.
And so the majority of the charges are all stemming back from South Africa. From your Revolut, from your credit card.
Revolut.
You sent quite a bit of money to
Revolut. Sponsor me. I see you sponsoring all the YouTubers. I know technically I'm not one, but please sponsor me. Despite what this video might be showing about you.
Dirk and Johanna in
Stop saying
different
that.
forms of payment.
Joanna.
If she was really Allison, she would have you send the money through the platform or to a Cash App. She wouldn't have you send the money to a third party.
Oh, yes. That was a real red flag for
Oh,
me.
but you
You've
just did
spoke
it
to
anyway.
her over the
You just did it anyway, huh? Because shits and giggles, right? I'm just gonna do it anyway, have some fun.
phone. Well, we have a video of her speaking. We want to match up and maybe get an idea of if this person in these videos, which is the real Allison, sounds like the person that you've been talking to over the phone.
Bro, I feel like
Sure.
my head's gonna explode.
Hi humans, this is Addie.
Sorry?
Ladies and gentlemen, lovelies. I was just chilling and I figured I'd quickly make this video for you guys just to say welcome to my page and thank you so much for your sub. I appreciate it lots. I do a bunch of things.
She has a very distinct laugh and voice.
Yes.
I mean, you would be able to recognize that.
I don't recognize that. No.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
What? It's
Yes,
so
I'm very
shocking about
serious.
that.
I don't recognize that voice. Very different.
You're not talking to Allison.
Who am I talking to then?
All right, Seekers,
Who knows,
looks
man?
like we cracked the case. This person created a fake OnlyFans profile and lured Tom to converse with them through Telegram. He was never communicating with Allison through her official OnlyFans profile, and she had nothing to do with this. The real Allison is completely innocent.
They basically have been duping you and lying to you and pretending to be someone that they're not for 2 years. This is obviously someone that you need to block. You don't need to send any more money to. You need to change your accounts. You need to change your passwords on everything.
I'm so broke it's not even funny because of her.
Well, because of
I'm
you.
deeply, deeply in debt.
You've been sending money to Dirk, who is located in South Africa.
Yes,
That could be the guy that's scamming you.
true.
I mean, are you going to continue to do this whole online like girlfriend experience moving forward?
I don't think so. It's too subject to scamming. Totally broke now. Seriously in debt. Seriously.
OnlyFans is not a place to find a wife. It's not a place to find anything serious.
I was definitely a fool. No question about it. I let my
sometimes
let
you
my
can
thoughts
find
run
someone.
wild.
Tom has decided to take a break from OnlyFans
You
and
never
no
know.
longer is interested in girlfriend experiences. Whoever was scamming Tom was obviously in South Africa based off of the IP tracker that we ran. We have advised him to take all of this information to law enforcement in South Africa.
Thank you for your efforts so much.
Sure.
It's greatly appreciated.
You're welcome.
Yep.
All right, have a good night.
Bye.
Well, I
Bye.
don't feel like they've
If you have been
actually
involved in a
helped this
romance
guy, to be
scam,
honest.
don't forget to report it. It helps get the word out and potentially stops other people from being scammed.
Well, probably not. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Now I'm going to go find some comments that I find interesting. We'll do the tantalizing triple or the tantalizing talk section, depending on however many I find interesting. So I'll be back. Hello, tantalizing talk time, because we got more than 3 comments to be looking at. So let's dive right into it. Trust me. We have Buffy S here, and if this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, shit, man. He's literally just annoyed because he's ran out of money. No catfishing here, just a sad, delusional old guy who should know better. I think that is pretty much the case here. A lot of the comments were just saying, you know, he got what he paid for, and it's completely true. You, regardless, as I said in the beginning, a scammer or not, you paid for the girlfriend experience, not for the girlfriend reality, right? So you got what you paid for, and your money ran out, you went into crazy debt, so the scammer said, F this, I'm not needed here anymore. Do you know what I mean? You can't pay for my $150 worth of Woolworths pick and mix. So I'm just gonna pick my way out of this and mix with someone else. So get a grip of yourself, Tom. I'm not gonna lie to you. Definitely one of the victims who I don't think should be on the show. In terms of, as I said earlier, I just felt like I was not supposed to be viewing that, right? It felt like it should be in the hands of a professional and not on YouTube, right? And Luke here has a similar vibe to me. I don't think this guy has the IQ to be featured on this show. He needs to be supervised. The interesting thing here is the supervision part, right? Because it's easy to say this guy should have a conservatorship, someone should be looking at his finances. But the fact he's spending the holidays alone, especially being in a vulnerable position after having strokes and not working, obviously shitting himself into debt. You could say, everyone's busy with work, etc., etc. But like no one is spending time with him for Christmas. Why is that? And this is why I think backstory and context is so important, because I would like to know his relationship with his daughters that he has, right? And touching on the fact that he has daughters, we have Skater FX Hockey here. His poor daughter. How embarrassing to see your dad creeping on young girls young enough to be your friends from high school. I don't think it was touched on enough, bro. Like, I touched on it, of course, but I'm not sure the Catfish team can. You can't have this person on the show and then start calling them a sleditor. I don't know, the business ramifications of that. But just slip it in, right? Like, hey, alongside them saying, don't pay for online experiences again, why not slip in, maybe we can find someone your own age, Tom? Just a suggestion, though. Not accusing you of anything. Surely. And I feel like they've said that before. Maybe we just skirted around it on this occasion because maybe they felt sorry for him or something. I don't know. But it's creepy. And if I dare see any comments saying, loneliness, look at what it drives people to do. So you are excusing very creepy behavior, are you? You're excusing the fact that a 60-plus-year-old man not only wants to be with someone in a marriage, no less, who's 20 something, but describes them as fresh, fresh looking. Shut up in the comments if you're typing that right now. Get a grip of yourself. I'm not holding back anymore, man, because some of you genuinely, you metaphorically fist me in the ass with the comments that you leave, accusing me of all sorts. You need help, all right?
Calm yourself, boy. You are acting hysterical.
Next up, we have Reno Reviews here, who, alongside what I was saying, we just gonna ignore a 61-year-old man trying to marry a woman in her 20s? I don't think we should ignore this. The Catfish team, unfortunately, ignored it. They were too giddy about the fact, we're on OnlyFans, guys. Just, please. That was the important thing that needed to be addressed, to be honest. Not the fact he's been catfished, because he ain't been catfished. He paid for something, he got what he wanted, all right? I gave the example of Subway, but in a more realistic example, I guess. If I pay a sex worker for 1 hour, right? And after 1 hour, I've caught feelings, I now want a relationship with this person. Whose fault is that? That's mine, all right? Maybe hers as well, because, she treat me so good. And that's the thing that this guy was doing, right? Oh, is she treat me so... Where was the treatment, bro? You talked about colors, you talked about food, you caught feelings. You need help, all right? Not just catfish, you need professional support. And as a reply to Reno here, Scuba Fanatic says, I'm 62 and get guys as young as 21 contacted me on dating sites. I look good for my age, but come on, I know what I look like compared to a 30-year-old. Bye-bye. I'm sorry to break it to you, Scuba, here. Maybe you yourself are deep diving with your scuba, since you are a scuba fanatic. You got your scuba gear on. You're deep diving into the sea of delusion. I'm sorry to break it to you, but they're probably scammers. All right, 99% sure they are scammers. Maybe they are. That 1%, maybe they are a young buck trying to be with you. But in being realistic, they probably only want sex, or they have a fetish for older women. Just sorry to break it to you, right? So those were the comments I picked out. There were a few more that I thought could be interesting to discuss, but a lot of the comments were the samey, right? Everyone just slewing him for being a creep, and rightfully so. And that's it. I mean, that's all the comments. Just him being a creep. But I do think it's important to also touch on the fact, before we, end this, the whole, wanting to marry someone in their 20s, fresh looking, all that BS. This guy works in a university, right? So he is seeing a lot of young women roaming the halls and shit. Oh my God, I don't want to say, lose his job, because I think he mentioned going back to work on the 1st of November or something, so he's probably back there right now. But background checks are important, people. He might not have a criminal record, but dare I say we need to start adding some sort of survey into job applications. Are you a sledditor? And please list the reasons why you're not. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to accuse him of doing anything, but from the language he's displayed on the show, I'm sorry. I think it's sorry to the microphone, but I'm sorry to burst bubbles here. I think it's important to address the fact that this man works in an environment with young women in it. Just my opinion, though. I know a lot of people, and I've faced a lot of comments before, who essentially glorify such relationships. They use age is just a number, and it's love. Who am I to get in the way of love? I'm not saying you can't have your opinion, but I'm allowed to have my opinion. I think it's disgusting. So don't try and change my mind. I never will. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you've learned anything from this, it's if you are going to do up OnlyFans girlfriend experiences or girlfriend experiences in general, sex work in real life where you're paying for an hour, maybe half an hour, whatever the case. Once that is done, time's up, baby. There's no more money you can put into it. You should expect that you're not going to get said service anymore. And if you're over the age of 60, you shouldn't be with anyone in their 20s. Get a grip of yourself, right? You and your unfresh looking self wanting someone who's fresh looking. Do you know how disgusting that is, bro? Just repeating it that many times. My skin is curdling. I'm milk left on the counter. I need help, not only for having to sit through this shit, but the fact, honestly, if I stand up, this chair is going to have a puddle of sweat on it. And I'm aware no one needed to know that. I'm getting back in bed, bro. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you guys next time. I don't know. If you've made it to this far in the video, yeah? Put soap. Put the soap emoji in the comments, since we're talking about fresh so much. Let's give the comment section a little clean, shall we? Slap a soap in there if you've made it this far and you're hearing this. And if you are wanting to know the video for Monday, it is almost 2 hours long, all right? It is, dare I say, special because it's so long. So, you know, be there or be square or be any shape you want to be honest. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. If you want to watch more, they'll be up there. If you want to watch something else scam related, I'll chuck it down here as usual. Bye. And just to confirm, Tom, you're a creep, and there might be a reason why you're alone on the holidays.